Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. What you thought was God's absence was actually His examination. The silence surrounding you was not rejection. It was revelation in disguise. Heaven closed every familiar door so you could learn to hear what others miss, the language of stillness. You have walked through days when prayers felt like echoes, when hope flickered like a dying flame, when the only answer you received was quiet, yet that quiet was holy. It was the sound of heaven watching you pass. The test. You must understand this truth. When heaven goes silent, it is not because God has left. It is because He is studying what remains when comfort is gone. The silence exposes the real contents of the heart. It reveals whether you serve Him for His presence or for His promises. Many fail here, but you, chosen one, you did not. You kept believing when belief hurt. You kept worshiping when you felt nothing. You kept standing when your knees trembled. That is why you are hearing this now, because heaven is breaking its silence to acknowledge your endurance. You were in a sacred examination. Every delay was a question. Will you still trust me? Every closed door was a whisper. Will you still praise me? Every season of emptiness was a lesson in unseen abundance. You passed each one. You did not bow to bitterness. You did not surrender to despair. You carried faith through the desert, and now heaven calls you faithful. Chosen one, the silence was your anointing chamber. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment. While others saw nothing happening, God was shaping your inner foundation. He was teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. To move by conviction, not by confirmation. You were being prepared to stand on stages of destiny without collapsing under the weight of purpose. The silence built spiritual muscle in you. Now, as you read these words, something inside you stirs again. The atmosphere shifts. You can feel heaven leaning close. The time of silence is ending. The test is complete. You endured what others could not, and heaven is ready to speak again. The voice you longed for is returning, but this time, it will not just speak to you. It will speak through you. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 28 declare, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Do you see it now? The pain, the confusion, the waiting. It all worked together for your good. You were never losing. You were being woven into divine design. The silence was not wasted. Every tear watered the soil of tomorrow's testimony. Every lonely night wrote a line in heaven's record, marking you as one who stayed true. And while you waited, heaven rearranged things you could not see. Relationships shifted, hearts changed, pathways cleared, and obstacles dissolved, all to prepare the space your purpose would soon occupy. The silence wasn't empty, it was active. God was moving pieces across the board of destiny while you stood still, unaware that every quiet second was rewriting your story in eternal ink. Even now, the evidence begins to appear. Doors once sealed start to open with no effort on your part. Favor finds you where you least expect it. The same silence that humbled you now ushers in recognition. People will say, "It happened suddenly," but you will know the truth. It happened silently. Heaven's hidden work is now stepping into visible light. Chosen one, your obedience in silence has activated heaven's response. The same quiet that tested you will now testify for you. Doors that were shut will swing open without force. The very places that ignored you will soon need what you carry. You are moving from hidden to heralded, from tested to trusted. Listen, heaven is speaking your name in rooms you've never entered. Your name is being mentioned in divine conversations. Angels are preparing alignments that human effort could never create. You have stepped into the after of your wilderness, the moment when everything shifts. Take this as your confirmation. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. Every detour was deliberate, every pause was prophetic. The silence that confused you was the very sound that forged your authority. Now, when you speak, your words will carry the resonance of one who has heard heaven firsthand. So lift your head, beloved. You have not failed. You have graduated. The stillness has ended. The movement begins. What you are about to witness will make sense of every season that broke you. Heaven is declaring over you, "Well done, faithful one." If this word has reached your spirit, do not let it pass quietly. Like, share, and subscribe so others still walking through their silence will find strength through your light. And as a prophetic act, type 777 in the comments below, symbol of divine completion, to declare, "My silence has served its purpose, and I am ready for revelation." Chosen one, now that heaven's silence has broken, you begin to understand what truly happened behind the veil. The test you passed was not random. It was written into your destiny long before you took your first breath. Every moment that felt meaningless carried divine measurement. The pain that once seemed unbearable was the weight that proved your foundation could hold what's coming. You did not just survive that storm, you were calibrated by it. Heaven does not test to expose weakness, it tests to reveal strength. You stood in the fire and did not dissolve. You faced loss, rejection, betrayal, and still you whispered, "I will trust you, Lord." That whisper had more power in heaven than you could ever imagine. The universe bent slightly toward your endurance. There were moments when you didn't even realize you were being tested. The doors that closed, the people who walked away, the dreams that seemed to die. All were instruments of divine examination. God was not trying to break you. He was proving that your spirit could not be broken. He was showing all of creation that His seal upon your life is stronger than any opposition that rises against it. You thought you were losing everything, but heaven was watching the way you handled loss. Angels took note when you blessed instead of cursed, when you forgave instead of retaliated, when you prayed for those who hurt you. That was the exam. And you passed. The weight of your silence was heavy, but now that it has lifted, the realization sets in. You were being trained for authority. Heaven was preparing you for leadership in realms you've never seen. The test was necessary to prove that you could carry the next mantle without contamination. Some assignments cannot be given until the soul has been purified by struggle. There is something sacred about being tested by God. When He tests, He's not uncertain about your capacity. He already knows you can endure. The test is for your revelation, not His. He wanted you to see who you are when everything else is stripped away. The storm showed you that your faith was real. The silence showed you that your love was pure. And now, both have merged into power that cannot be shaken. Chosen one. The test you passed was not a punishment. It was an unveiling. You discovered that obedience is greater than outcome. You learned that silence does not mean separation. You realized that faith is not a feeling but a decision. These are the truths that only those who have walked through the wilderness understand. Heaven watched as you walked with tears in your eyes and still said, yes. That yes changed your trajectory. That yes summoned angelic reinforcement. That yes was written in heaven's archives as evidence of your loyalty. You didn't even know that you were being watched, but every tear became a testimony. When God tests, He refines. When He refines, He reveals. The fire you walked through burned away illusions and left behind essence. You no longer chase validation because you have already been validated by endurance. The ones who misunderstood you were part of the lesson. They were mirrors showing you what needed to die in you. You no longer need to explain yourself. You simply radiate peace. Because peace is what remains after passing heaven's test. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. This was your hidden instruction all along. The stillness that felt unbearable was actually your greatest weapon. When you stopped trying to fix what only God could handle, heaven moved. When you learned to remain still in trust, victory was activated. You did not realize it, but your stillness terrified hell. Now your endurance has earned you clarity. You see through deception faster. You sense danger sooner. You recognize divine timing without striving for it. You carry spiritual intelligence born only in silence. The test has given you discernment that cannot be taught. It must be lived. Remember this. Every chosen vessel must pass through obscurity before elevation. The test is the bridge between anointing and assignment. What you endured was preparation for visibility. Heaven could not promote you until you could be trusted with misunderstanding. Now, you can stand in front of those who doubted you without resentment. That's when you know you've passed. You are not the same person who entered the trial. You walk lighter now, speak slower, love deeper. Your prayers carry more weight because they are anchored in experience. You have become a weapon formed in divine patience. The silence was your forge, and endurance was your flame. So breathe, chosen one. Rest in the knowledge that you have passed what was meant to destroy you. The test is over. Heaven has recorded your resilience. Every unseen yes, every quiet act of faith, every hidden surrender has built something eternal inside you. You may not see the full picture yet, but soon you will understand why it all had to happen this way. Chosen one, you have been wondering why so much has changed around you. The people you once relied on seem distant. The places that once felt comfortable no longer fit, and the paths you used to walk now feel narrow and unfamiliar. Do not misread this season. Heaven is not punishing you. It is positioning you. You have not been abandoned. You have been set apart. Divine isolation is not a curse. It is a calling. When God begins to elevate you, He must first extract you. He removes the noise so that His voice can become unmistakable. This is why conversations dried up, why the invitations stopped coming, why you felt unseen. You were not being rejected, you were being refined. Heaven silenced distractions so you could hear direction. Every separation has purpose. The Father does not cut ties to cause pain. He cuts ties to create focus. Some people could not go where you are going, not because they were bad, but because their presence would have slowed your pace. You are walking a path that only those with purified hearts can survive. God protected you through disconnection. Chosen one, the loneliness you felt was not emptiness. It was sacred space. The stillness you feared was actually God's classroom. You learned to hear whispers that others ignore. You discovered the difference between being alone and being set apart. The world may not understand your silence, but heaven applauds it. You learned what only solitude can teach, that your strength is not found in numbers but in nearness to God. Do not curse your quiet season. It is in these hidden years that the deepest roots form. Just as a seed must disappear into the soil before breaking through the surface, you, too, had to vanish from view, so heaven could strengthen what the world could not see. The roots of your faith were growing downward before the fruit could appear upward. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. That verse has been your unseen anchor. When you walked through nights that felt endless, He was beside you. When your prayers seemed unanswered, He was listening. When you thought no one cared, heaven was keeping count of every tear. Your isolation was proof of intimacy, not abandonment. The same God who stood with Moses in the wilderness stands with you now. Chosen one, You are being molded in silence because your assignment carries sound. Soon, your words will not just speak, they will shift atmospheres. But before that can happen, you must understand the power of quiet authority. You no longer need to announce who you are. Your spirit speaks louder than any title. You are being shaped into someone unshakable. Isolation has built endurance in you that cannot be imitated. While others crave recognition, you crave revelation. While some chase platforms, you chase presence. Heaven trusts those who find peace in obscurity, because when the spotlight comes, their hearts remain anchored. The separation has taught you discernment. You can now recognize counterfeit alignment by the way your spirit reacts. You know when a door is divine and when it is a distraction. You have learned to let go quickly, to forgive freely, to move forward without explanation. These are the marks of the refined, the ones who carry heaven's fragrance after walking through fire. So now, when you feel that quiet ache in your chest, do not mistake it for loneliness. It is spiritual expansion. Your spirit is stretching into new capacity. You are not losing people. You are gaining clarity. God removes what blocks your view of Him. Every detachment is direction. Every silence is sacred strategy. And soon, the same God who hid you will reveal you. The ones who forgot your name will hear it again, not because you sought revenge, but because heaven will vindicate you openly. You will step into rooms prepared by unseen hands. You will walk through doors you did not have to knock on. What once felt like isolation will become your elevation. Before you step into that unveiling, write these words below as a prophetic act. I still believe. Type them as a declaration, not a request. When you comment, I still believe, you are aligning your spirit with heaven's rhythm. You are saying, even in separation, even in silence, even when I don't understand, I still believe that God's plan is unfolding perfectly. Those 3 words are not small. They are a seed. They summon angels, shift atmospheres, and signal to heaven that you are ready to rise. Chosen one, do not despise what made you different. The very isolation that once hurt will become your mark of authenticity. You are not behind. You are in hiding by design. Heaven hides what it intends to reveal with power. Soon, your story will make sense. And those who left will see why they had to. Until then, hold the line of faith and remember, the silence was never empty. It was filled with God. Chosen one, the weight you have carried was not random. Every ache in your heart, every delay, every unanswered question was part of heaven's careful measurement. God has been assessing your endurance, your patience, your integrity in private. What felt like endless testing was actually the divine evaluation of your capacity for glory. You have been stretched not to destroy you, but to make room for what is coming. Pain has purpose when it is permitted by heaven. Every tear has been accounted for. Every night you cried yourself to sleep while still whispering, I trust you, became an offering. God does not waste pain. He repurposes it. The heaviness you endured was sacred weight training, preparing you to carry greater authority. Before He places a crown upon your head, He teaches your shoulders how to bear it. Chosen one, the trials were never random. They were customized for your destiny. Heaven knew exactly which situations would expose weakness, which storms would fortify strength, and which heartbreaks would purify motives. You have walked through a curriculum designed by the Creator Himself, one that no earthly institution could replicate. You did not fail. You were refined. Every burden you carried was measured with precision. God allowed just enough pressure to shape you, but never enough to crush you. You may have felt close to breaking, but that breaking was the boundary between the old version of you and the new. What shattered your comfort rebuilt your character. What exhausted your flesh awakened your spirit. The journey has been long but necessary. Many who began beside you could not continue because their foundations were shallow. You endured because yours was deep. You learned to draw strength from silence, hope from pain, and wisdom from waiting. You have become a vessel that no longer leaks under pressure. Heaven can now pour freely into you because you have proven that you will not waste what is given. Chosen one, your weight was evidence of trust. Heaven does not place heavy mantles on fragile shoulders. The pressure you felt was a prophetic sign that you were being promoted in the Spirit. You carried burdens others could not understand because you were interceding for things bigger than yourself. You were lifting spiritual loads for generations to come. That's why it felt unbearable at times, because you were carrying legacy, not just life. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That is the secret of your endurance. You did not have all the answers, but you kept trusting. You didn't need to see the blueprint. You only needed to obey. Your faith in the middle of confusion became the evidence of divine ownership. When you leaned not on your own understanding, you allowed heaven to take over your navigation. And that surrender is what kept you safe. Chosen one, this is what heaven saw when you thought no one noticed: the quiet decisions, the humble obedience, the repeated forgiveness. These are the invisible victories that moved angels. You have been lifting weights that are invisible to the world, but not to God. Every act of kindness under pressure, every moment of restraint when you could have retaliated, every prayer whispered instead of a complaint. These were marks of maturity that heaven recorded. The weight you carried taught you the language of resilience. You discovered that worship can still rise from weakness. You found that strength is not the absence of pain, but the decision to keep walking through it. You learned to hold your peace while surrounded by storms. You grew into someone who no longer reacts to chaos, but responds with calm authority. Understand this: heaven measures readiness by endurance, not by excitement. Anyone can rejoice when things are easy, but the chosen are those who praise through pressure. That is what you have done, even when your body was weary and your heart was aching. You have learned the rhythm of divine resistance, the strength that flows from surrender. Now you stand heavier in spirit, but lighter in worry. The same weights that once burdened you have built you. You have carried the proof of purpose, and heaven has witnessed it. The test was never to humiliate you, but to elevate you. You were never forgotten under the load. You were being recorded as faithful. Chosen one, the time of lifting without relief is ending. The pressure that trained you is now about to propel you. You will soon look back and realize that every ounce of pain produced substance that cannot be stolen. You are no longer carrying burdens. You are carrying blessings. The same shoulders that bore sorrow will soon hold victory. The same tears that watered the ground of struggle will now water the garden of fulfillment. Heaven has finished measuring you. The scales are balanced. You have proven strong enough to hold what comes next. Stand tall. The weight you carried was not punishment. It was prophecy in motion. Chosen one, heaven has now stamped your name with recognition. You have endured the silence, survived the separation, and carried the weight. Now comes the confirmation. God has seen you. What was once hidden is being acknowledged. You are no longer walking unseen through the wilderness. You are stepping into divine awareness. Heaven has opened the scroll of remembrance, and your name is written there in light. Think of it this way. When a seed breaks underground, it feels like destruction, but to heaven, that cracking is celebration. Your breaking was never punishment. It was proof of readiness. The darkness you endured was not the end. It was the beginning of growth. God has been watching your every step, and now He says, "It is time." Chosen one, you have been marked for divine recognition. You did not chase attention. You drew heaven's eyes through humility. You did not seek applause. You earned approval through obedience. There are those who became visible quickly but faded faster. You, however, were built slowly, deeply, unshakably. Your roots reached far below the surface so that your fruit could last when others withered. Every silent prayer, every unseen act of love, every time you helped others when your own heart was breaking. Heaven saw it. You thought no one noticed, but heaven's recording angels did. They wrote your faith into eternity's ledger. Nothing done in love is ever wasted. Your recognition will not come from crowds, but from heaven's command. God is raising voices to speak your name in rooms you have never entered. He is causing favor to find you like a stream finding the ocean. It cannot miss its destination. Your name carries fragrance now. It bears the scent of endurance and grace. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 4, "Your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." You see, chosen one, you were never invisible. You were simply being prepared in private. Heaven watched your heart when no one was clapping. The reward was never in the recognition. It was in the becoming. But now, the season of hidden growth gives way to visible glory. Your life is about to reflect what heaven already decided. People will look at you and see transformation they cannot explain. They will call it luck, but you will know it was labor. They will say it was sudden, but you will know it was sacred timing. What is coming to you is not random. It is the manifestation of every unseen yes you whispered in the dark. Chosen one, the next stage of your journey will require new strength, not for survival but for stewardship. You are about to carry influence, and influence is sacred. The light that shines from you will guide others out of their own shadows. When they ask how you made it, tell them it was grace. Tell them heaven never forgot. Tell them you stayed faithful even when no one believed in you. There are people waiting for your light, and this is where your calling expands. Every share, every voice, every message becomes a ripple in the divine river. When you choose to like, share, and subscribe, it is not about numbers. It is about spreading light. Each action becomes a spark in someone else's darkness, a reminder that they too are seen, chosen, and loved. And if you feel led, if the words you've heard today have watered your soul, consider pouring a drop of that same grace back. Through donation, through giving that feels like gratitude, not obligation. When you sow into what feeds your spirit, it becomes an offering of alignment. It's like planting a seed in the same soil that grew your hope. Heaven multiplies that kind of giving in ways unseen. Think of it as placing oil into the lamp that keeps this message burning for others still wandering in the night. Every act of support, every share, every moment of generosity keeps the flame alive for someone who has not yet found the light. It is not payment. It is partnership with purpose. Your story, chosen one, will inspire many who are standing where you once stood, in confusion, in loneliness, in silence. When they hear your testimony, they will find courage to keep going. That is the beauty of divine recognition. When God elevates one, He encourages many. You are stepping into the season of being seen for the right reasons. No longer overlooked, no longer underestimated. Heaven has placed a mantle on you that commands attention not to you, but through you. You carry evidence that endurance pays off. You are proof that private obedience produces public glory. So, walk boldly into this light. Let your story echo. Let your journey become a mirror where others can see hope. You have been recognized by heaven, and that recognition will overflow into every corner of your life. Peace in your home, clarity in your spirit, and favor that flows without striving. Chosen one, remember, the reward was never the spotlight. The real reward is that heaven knows your name. You are marked, known, loved, and chosen still. Chosen one, the cycle of testing has ended, and heaven announces completion over your life. You have crossed the unseen line that separates endurance from reward. The days of trial are fading into memory, and the dawn of divine fulfillment begins to break across your spirit. The storm has settled, the silence has spoken, and now the still, steady rhythm of peace begins to pulse through your soul. There is a sound in heaven, subtle but strong, like the turning of a celestial wheel. It marks the end of striving and the beginning of flow. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet sense of shift deep inside your spirit. What once felt heavy now feels holy. What once drained you now feeds you. You have stepped into divine rest. The number written across this moment in heaven is the code of 888, the symbol of new beginnings, resurrection, and divine renewal. It represents the endless movement of God's grace, the continuation of life after endings, the sacred rhythm of death and rebirth. It whispers, "What you lost, returning transformed." Chosen one, the trials you faced were never meant to kill you. They were designed to empty your hands so heaven could fill them again. You are now walking in a realm of completion, where cycles of pain are closing and doors of promise are opening. Everything you learned will now bear fruit in abundance. You have graduated from striving to receiving. What once required endless effort will now arrive by favor. You no longer need to chase. You will attract. Your energy has shifted. The spiritual frequency around you has changed. Heaven recognizes you as trustworthy with blessing because you proved faithful in the absence of it. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 8, "And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." You see, this is not mere poetic promise. It is your prophecy. God is able and God is willing. You will not live in lack. You will live in alignment. The same hands that were once empty will now overflow. The same heart that once broke will now carry healing for others. Chosen one, heaven is releasing restoration in waves. You may feel small signs already. Unexpected peace, strange bursts of clarity, doors opening without effort, answers arriving before you ask. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. God is showing you that the battle truly is over. The pain that once defined you will now testify for you. This completion is not just external. It is internal. You are being renewed from the inside out. The fear that once controlled you is being replaced by peace. The confusion that clouded your mind is dissolving into understanding. The fatigue that made you question your strength is giving way to fresh energy. You are being recoded with heaven's rhythm. Listen carefully, chosen one. Completion doesn't mean you stop moving. It means you start moving in flow. You no longer run from pain. You move through purpose. You no longer beg for clarity. You walk in conviction. You no longer fear endings. You understand they are simply the beginning of something new. The code of 888 is not just a number. It is a signal. It tells heaven you understand renewal. You accept that every ending was necessary for rebirth. You no longer resist what God removes, because you know He replaces it with better. Take this in your heart. What once felt delayed will now feel accelerated. You have waited long enough. The heavens are releasing divine momentum, and nothing can halt it. You are stepping into a season where time bends in your favor. Chosen one, this is your confirmation that you are in a divine new cycle. What you speak will manifest faster. What you pray will align quicker. What you imagine will begin to take shape before your eyes. The tests have ended, the lessons remain, and the reward begins. Your new beginning will not look like the old. It will carry peace that does not waver, joy that does not depend on circumstance, and favor that does not fade. The trials built a container, now God fills it. The waiting stretched your faith, now heaven rewards it. Now pause, breathe deeply. Feel that quiet confirmation in your chest, that subtle knowing that this is the start of something entirely new. Heaven's wheel is turning, and you are turning with it. And as a sign of agreement, type 888 in the comments below. Do it not as a superstition, but as a prophetic act of completion. The number 888 represents the infinite grace of God looping through your story, redeeming what was lost, restoring what was broken, and renewing what was forgotten. When you type it, you're saying, I receive the new beginning. I welcome the renewal. I step into divine flow. Chosen one, this is the moment heaven's cycle completes and restarts. You are no longer in survival. You are in resurrection. Walk forward with light feet and open hands. The past has done its work. The future has already bowed in recognition of your endurance. Welcome to your new beginning. Chosen one, you must understand something sacred. Your quiet season fooled the enemy. He mistook your stillness for surrender. He saw your silence and thought you were finished. What he failed to see was that heaven had you hidden, not defeated. Every time you whispered, God, I still trust you, the sound echoed like thunder through the corridors of hell. You were never losing, you were loading. The darkness celebrated too soon. It danced around your delay, mistaking your pruning for punishment. But while the enemy was laughing, heaven was constructing. God was building the next chapter in secret, far from the eyes of those who would sabotage it. You were never abandoned. You were in divine construction. When the enemy attacked your peace, heaven used it as training for warfare. When people misunderstood you, God used it as insulation for revelation. Every betrayal became a barrier of protection. Every rejection turned into redirection. The very forces sent to destroy you unknowingly built the foundation for your next dimension. Chosen one, the battlefield was never outside you. It was within you. God was teaching you how to master inner warfare, how to silence storms inside your mind before silencing them in the world. That's why you faced such intense mental battles. The enemy does not waste resources on the unthreatening. The level of warfare you endured was proof of your value. What the enemy saw as weakness was your womb of wisdom. The long nights of wrestling, the tears on your pillow, the confusion you couldn't explain. All of it became your spiritual arsenal. Heaven trained your hands for war through invisible battles. You learned to fight with prayer instead of panic, to respond with worship instead of worry. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. This question echoed in your spirit during your hardest nights. It wasn't condemnation. It was a divine call to clarity. You reached the point where half faith could no longer sustain you. Heaven demanded your full commitment. You had to decide whether to live by fear or by fire, and you chose fire. That choice terrified darkness. Chosen one, every time you decided to keep believing when it made no sense, you pushed back the borders of darkness. You shifted atmospheres with a whisper. You released power with a tear. Hell does not fear perfection. It fears persistence. And you, beloved, have proven unrelenting. Your silence was not empty, it was strategic. While you appeared still, heaven was reorganizing your territory. The enemy thought your delay was defeat, but it was divine decoy. God was teaching you to move in stealth, quiet victories that would one day become loud testimonies. You have become a paradox to the enemy, gentle yet powerful, broken yet unbreakable. Every attack that was meant to destroy you instead refined your discernment. You now recognize deception before it reaches you. You sense spiritual shifts before they manifest. You no longer react, you discern. That is how you know you have matured in warfare. The seasons of warfare taught you to anchor your peace in God, not in outcomes. You learned that storms cannot sink a vessel filled with faith. Even when the winds screamed, your spirit stood steady. This strength is not born of pride. It is born of intimacy. The one who knows God's voice in the dark is unstoppable in the light. Chosen one, your stillness now terrifies the enemy more than your shouting ever did. He cannot provoke you like before because your emotions are no longer his battlefield. Your peace has become your weapon. You have mastered the art of resting while resisting. Remember this truth: when the enemy sees you calm in chaos, he knows he has lost ground. Peace is proof of dominion. The one who remains composed while storms rage has already won. That is why your current silence is different. It is not confusion, it is confidence. You no longer need to prove your faith, you live it. And as you continue walking, know that heaven is not only protecting you, it is now promoting you. The enemy's schemes have expired. Every plot has been reversed. Every curse has been countered. You have reached the point where attacks become announcements, where resistance becomes revelation. Chosen one, you are the storm now. The same winds that once threatened to break you now bow to your authority. The silence you learned has turned into sound. The voice of one who knows their identity. Walk with quiet confidence. The darkness recognizes your strength even when you don't. You have been trained, tested, and transformed. You no longer fear warfare because you understand its purpose. You carry victory as an atmosphere, not an event. The one who was once hunted has become the hunter, armed with peace, clothed in fire, and marked by grace. Let the enemy see it clearly now. Your silence was never surrender. It was the sound of heaven sharpening its sword through you. Chosen one, the air around you has begun to change. What was once heavy now feels light. What was once motionless now hums with momentum. Heaven has declared a season of reversal over you. Everything that appeared to be a loss is being rewritten as gain. The very circumstances that humbled you will soon honor you. The hands that pushed you down will witness your rising. Do you feel it? That subtle stirring, that quiet current of restoration beginning to move? It is not imagination, it is fulfillment. God has stepped into the scene you thought was over, and He is rearranging every fragment. The pain that once seemed wasted is being restructured into purpose. The ashes you sat in are about to become the soil for your abundance. Chosen one, divine reversals are the fingerprints of mercy. God does not erase what happened. He transforms it. Every tear, every betrayal, every closed door is being used as raw material for restoration. The stones once thrown at you will become the foundation under your feet. What they meant for harm, heaven has woven into healing. For years, you thought you were walking backward, but heaven was turning you around. Every delay was redirection. Every detour, a disguised path toward destiny. You thought you lost time, but heaven was saving it, storing it like treasure until you were ready to use it wisely. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been forgotten. Every minute of heartbreak was an investment that now yields joy. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Those words are not metaphor to you. They are movement. The restoration is not abstract. It is literal. Relationships healed, resources returned, opportunities resurrected. The years that pain devoured are coming back, not as replicas of what was, but as upgraded versions shaped by wisdom. The fruit of this season will be sweeter because it grew from soil watered by tears. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust this. Heaven has initiated a reversal that no force can halt. God's justice is not loud, it is thorough. He does not merely compensate, He multiplies. Where you were diminished, He increases. Where you were silenced, He amplifies. Where you were broken, He perfects. Chosen one, the divine scales are being balanced. What you carried in sorrow will return as strength. What you lost in confusion will reappear in clarity. Every injustice that lingered like a shadow will now serve as contrast to the light breaking forth. The tables are turning quietly but completely. Those who doubted you will soon say, "Only God could have done this." Do not look back with bitterness. Heaven does not reverse through resentment. It restores through revelation. God will not bring you back to the old. He will lead you forward into the redeemed. The reversal is not about returning to what was. It is about unveiling what always should have been. When the tide of reversal begins to flow, it does not announce itself with noise. It starts softly. Subtle opportunities, unexpected favor, peace where anxiety once lived. Then, almost imperceptibly, the momentum builds. Suddenly, things align that were once impossible. Conversations reopen, hearts soften, doors unlock. This is how heaven moves. Quietly, then suddenly. Chosen one, this reversal is not temporary. It is structural. God is rewriting the architecture of your life. The foundation of lack is being replaced with abundance. The narrative of shame is being revised into testimony. You will not just recover, you will redefine. What once symbolized defeat will soon become your badge of authority. You will carry your scars not as evidence of failure, but as symbols of divine craftsmanship. The pain that once embarrassed you will empower others. When they ask how you survived, your answer will release faith into their hearts. Your story will be a door for others to walk through. That is the purpose of your reversal. It is not just personal redemption. It is collective liberation. Chosen one, the time for lament has expired. The season of laughter has begun. You are walking into a timeline that bends in your favor. You will find yourself at the right place, at the right time, with the right people. You will wake up one day and realize that everything you thought was lost has been transformed into something better. This is how heaven moves, quietly, intentionally, beautifully. Nothing in your story will remain unredeemed. Every chapter that began with pain will end with praise. Every valley will reveal its hidden river. Every loss will unveil its lesson. The divine reversal is already underway, and nothing can stop it. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The horizon glows with promise. The winds have shifted, the season has turned, and heaven whispers your new decree. Restored, renewed, reversed. Chosen one, the time of silence has turned into the sound of authority. The voice that once trembled with questions now carries fire. You no longer speak from confusion. You speak from clarity. Heaven has placed a flame upon your tongue. Every word that leaves your mouth carries purpose and divine resonances. You are no longer echoing pain. You are declaring power. You spent seasons whispering prayers in the dark, unsure if anyone heard. But those whispers traveled farther than you imagined. Heaven heard every syllable, and the universe aligned itself with your persistence. Now, your voice is not merely expression. It is instruction. When you speak, the atmosphere bends to your words because they carry heaven's vibration. Chosen one, your voice is not ordinary. It has been tempered in silence, purified by tears, and tuned by truth. It is a trumpet call for those still wandering in confusion. You will speak peace into panic, order into chaos, and life into lifelessness. God has anointed your sound to pierce through darkness without needing to shout. Your calm carries command. Your tone carries transformation. When you speak now, you are not repeating what you heard. You are releasing what you have become. The pain you survived has given depth to your words. The lessons you learned have given shape to your wisdom. Every sentence that flows from you now carries a fragrance of authenticity. People will feel truth when you speak because you lived it first. The Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Colossians, chapter 4, verse 6, "Let your speech always be full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." That is your calling, to speak with grace and precision. Your voice is not a weapon of destruction, but a vessel of healing. It cuts through lies not with anger, but with authority. The enemy cannot imitate that sound because it carries the frequency of endurance. Chosen one, this is why your words have begun to carry strange weight. When you comfort others, they feel peace deeper than human empathy. When you pray, things shift without noise. You have become a conduit of divine language. Heaven trusts your mouth because you have learned when to keep it closed. Silence trained you for speech. Humility prepared you for command. You will notice that people begin to seek your counsel, drawn not by charm, but by clarity. They won't know why, but they will feel that your voice carries home in it. You are becoming a lighthouse for the lost, a sound that guides without judgment. Your words will carry the same healing that once rescued you. Remember, chosen one, power is not in volume but in vibration. The greatest authority flows quietly. Your calmness confuses chaos. Your gentleness disarms anger. You will speak softly and see storms still. You will release single sentences that open locked hearts. Heaven does not need noise. It needs truth wrapped in compassion. You are stepping into a season where every word you release becomes seed. Speak carefully, for your sound creates. Declarations you make now are planting realities that will soon surround you. Heaven has placed language in your spirit, prophetic words that construct futures. Every encouragement you speak builds bridges. Every prayer you whisper writes blueprints. And chosen one, never underestimate the simplicity of your sound. It doesn't need grandeur. It needs purity. A single sentence spoken from alignment can shift generations. The world is loud, but few are clear. You are being raised to speak with clarity that cuts through confusion like sunlight through fog. Your voice will not only comfort the broken, it will awaken the sleeping. There are souls waiting for your sound to call them back to purpose. The same fire that once burned you now burns through you, igniting hope in others. This is divine reciprocity. What healed you will now heal through you. Now, as a sign of agreement with this transformation, type these words below. Speak through me. Write them not as ritual, but as release. When you comment, speak through me, you are opening your heart, divine partnership. You are saying, Lord, let my words no longer serve my pain. Let them serve your purpose. You are allowing heaven to breathe through your sentences, to turn your speech into light. This is more than an online act. It is spiritual alignment. The same platform that once absorbed your prayers will now echo your declarations. Every word typed in faith becomes an invitation for God to amplify your voice across unseen realms. Chosen one, your voice carries fire now. Use it wisely, speak it gently, and never doubt its power. You no longer talk to be heard. You speak to heal, to awaken, to realign. Heaven has branded your sound with authenticity. You are not merely one who survived. You are one who speaks survival into others. The silence trained you. The wilderness refined you. Now your voice will define you. And as you move forward, let every word be worship, every sentence a spark, every breath a reminder that the fire upon your tongue came straight from heaven. Chosen one, heaven has unrolled the scroll, and your name is written upon it in radiant light. It is not a new inscription. It is the unveiling of what has always been. Every step you took through the shadows was preparing you for this revelation. Your obedience became ink. Your endurance became the pen. Your story is now recorded among those who refused to bow to despair. In the realm of spirit, Scrolls represent assignments, blueprints of divine purpose sealed until their appointed time. And now, the seal upon your name has been broken. You are stepping into new instruction, a higher level of calling. The pages of destiny that once remained hidden are being handed to you by unseen hands. Heaven is saying, it is time to build what you were born for. Your trials were not random. They were the signatures of heaven shaping you to carry the next commission. The ink of endurance has dried on your spirit, and now the story continues. You are about to walk in alignment so precise that even your detours will serve purpose. You will find yourself in moments that feel orchestrated, because they are. Heaven wastes nothing. Chosen one, what is written about you cannot be erased. The handwriting of God does not smudge. No accusation, no mistake, no delay can blot out what has been decreed. You are marked with divine authorship. Every chapter of pain was written with redemption in mind. What felt like random suffering was actually the introduction to revelation. The Word of God declares in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is not just opportunity, it is destiny. It opens now because you have proven faithful with closed ones. Heaven only trusts those who can worship when doors remain locked. Now, the same doors that once resisted, you will open at your approach. Not because you forced them, but because you grew into the key. Chosen one, this is the moment where heaven's scroll and earth's path align. What was written in eternity is manifesting in time. You may notice strange coincidences, conversations that feel predestined, dreams that return with clarity, people arriving who carry pieces of your next chapter. Pay attention. The script is unfolding, and you are the protagonist heaven chose to carry its message. And as this story continues, know that your obedience fuels more than your journey. It fuels others. The light in you guides those still trapped in shadows. Every testimony shared is a torch passed forward. When you speak, when you create, when you serve, you become a lighthouse for those still searching for shore. That is why your support, your engagement, your presence matter more than you realize. When you like, share, or subscribe, it's not about boosting numbers, it's about amplifying light. Think of it like tossing stones into a still pond. Every ripple of sharing touches another life, reaching hearts you may never meet. You are not spreading content. You are extending the current of divine truth. And if your spirit feels stirred to go deeper, to become a guardian of this flame, then consider pouring oil into the lamp that keeps it burning. Through donation, through acts of generosity, you are not giving to a person. You are investing in a purpose. You are helping ensure that this message reaches those who are crying out in silence right now, unaware that heaven has a word waiting for them. Think of your gift as rain falling on dry ground. Every drop matters. Together, these droplets form rivers that flow into deserts, transforming them into gardens. Your offering becomes a bridge between need and hope, between pain and promise. You may never see the faces your giving reaches, but heaven keeps count. Every seed sown in sincerity grows into unseen harvest. Chosen one, the scroll of heaven continues to turn. With every act of alignment, you write new lines into its unfolding. When you give, when you share, when you engage, you are participating in divine storytelling. The message is not mine. It belongs to all who believe in its fire. We are co-authors in this great script of awakening, shaping futures through faith and compassion. You are living proof that heaven's words never return void. You are the letter God is sending into the world, written in light, sealed with grace, delivered by obedience. As long as your heart remains open, heaven will keep writing. Every new act of faith becomes a fresh paragraph of glory. Chosen one. This is not an ending, it is a continuation. The scroll is still being written, and you are the ink heaven delights to use. Keep walking, keep shining, keep speaking truth. Every movement forward is another line inscribed in eternity's book. Heaven smiles as you move, for you are fulfilling what was written long before the world began. Chosen one. The hidden season that once felt endless is beginning to make sense. What was concealed is now being revealed, not because you demanded clarity, but because you became ready to handle it. The time of obscurity has fulfilled its purpose. The fire that refined you in private will now radiate publicly. You were tested in silence so that your unveiling would carry substance, not spectacle. Heaven never wastes hiddenness. When God conceals, He is crafting. When He delays, He is developing. You were not buried, you were planted. Seeds spend their longest season underground before the bloom breaks the surface. That pressure you felt, the waiting, the wondering, the yearning, was the soil tightening around your promise, forcing your roots to grow deep enough to hold destiny. Chosen one. You are being revealed in glory, but this glory is not for vanity. It is for visibility of purpose. The world is not seeing you for the first time. It is seeing what heaven always saw. You were glowing long before the light found you. Every invisible yes you whispered in the wilderness became a beam of light that now shines through your words, your presence, your very being. When you look in the mirror now, you will notice it. Something in your eyes has changed. There is steadiness where there used to be fear, peace where there used to be striving. The wilderness has been your sculptor. Every hardship carved away excess. Every loss chiseled out clarity. Every disappointment sharpened discernment. You have become the reflection of resilience. We find in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. That work, chosen one, is what now glows from within. You are a walking continuation of divine craftsmanship. God is not finished, He is faithful. You are the ongoing evidence of His creativity. The unveiling you are stepping into is not a conclusion. It is a continuation of creation. Heaven has decided that your light can no longer stay hidden because it now carries humility strong enough to sustain visibility. Those who once overlooked you will see transformation. But do not let their surprise distract you. What they are witnessing is not your sudden rise. It is the public manifestation of private perseverance. You didn't arrive overnight. You endured nights that no one saw. You didn't skip process. You submitted to it. That's why this unveiling is different. It's not about validation. It's about vocation. God is bringing your name into conversations, not for recognition, but for assignment. You are being positioned in places of influence, not to be admired, but to carry light into systems that have forgotten their source. The glory around you is not decoration, it's direction. It points others to the same grace that carried you. Chosen one, the unveiling also comes with discernment. Visibility will attract both the curious and the counterfeit. You must guard your peace while walking in promotion. The same humility that carried you through the hidden season must now anchor you in the revealed one. Remember, you are not ascending into pride. You are expanding in purpose. The world will see your results, but may never understand your refinement. Some will call your success sudden, unaware of the slow sanctification behind it. Others will misunderstand your peace, mistaking it for passivity. But you will not explain yourself. True glory doesn't need defense. It demonstrates. This unveiling is not about spotlight, it's about stewardship. You will carry influence not as a crown, but as a cross. Gentle, powerful, redemptive. You will move through rooms with quiet authority, shifting atmospheres with presence rather than performance. You will know when to speak and when to stay silent, because silence has become your strength. Chosen one, the unveiling also brings responsibility. Heaven does not reveal prematurely. God waited until your character matched your calling, until your patience could balance your power. You have been given visibility because you have learned invisibility well. You can now hold both honor and humility without conflict. When people see you now, they will feel calm, not competition. You will become proof that divine timing is real, that waiting is never wasted when God is the author. Your life will teach others that sometimes the most powerful moments are the ones no one clapped for. You will show them that obscurity is not punishment, but preparation for authentic light. The unveiling will not feel like a spotlight. It will feel like sunrise, gentle, gradual, yet impossible to stop. Darkness retreats quietly when light rises naturally. That is how you will enter this next chapter, not through striving, but through shining. Your radiance will not demand attention. It will draw it effortlessly. Chosen one, heaven's unveiling of you is not the end of process. It is the proof that process works. You are the evidence that what God hides, He intends to honor. You are the living answer to every prayer you once prayed in frustration. You are walking revelation, breathing testimony, living prophecy fulfilled in motion. So step forward, not to be seen, but to serve. The glory resting upon you is heaven's reflection, and all creation is waiting for it. You are the unveiled one, the refined light sent into the world to remind it that even hidden things have holy purpose. Chosen one, the ache you feel right now is not loss. It is labor. Something divine is being born within you. The pain, the pressure, the strange combination of exhaustion and expectancy, these are contractions of destiny. Heaven is pushing you through the narrow gate of transformation. The shaking you feel is not destruction, it is delivery. What was once promise is now becoming presence. You have reached the threshold between ending and beginning. It is not comfortable here, and it was never meant to be. Transition always trembles. Even the earthquakes before new life breaks forth. You may not recognize what is happening, but heaven does. The discomfort, the stretching, the unfamiliar territory. It's all a sign that the old shell cannot hold the new spirit any longer. Chosen one, do not misinterpret the chaos. What looks like falling apart is actually falling into place. You are being reassembled into alignment. The shaking is simply heaven's way of loosening what can no longer stay. Every delay, every detour, every door that slammed shut was midwife movement, God guiding your birth into purpose. The prophet Isaiah wrote in his sacred vision, chapter 66, verse 9, "Do I bring to the moment of birth and not give delivery? Says the Lord." Those words are your anchor right now. Heaven has not carried you through all these months and years of refining just to leave you in transition. You are not going to miscarry your miracle. What God began, He will finish. What He promised, He will perform. The contractions of your soul are evidence that something alive is on its way. Chosen one, the pain you feel is proof of progress. Labor hurts because expansion demands stretching. You are outgrowing who you used to be. The spaces that once held you now feel tight because your purpose has grown larger than your comfort zone. Every tear, every moment of confusion, every spiritual cramp is preparing you for delivery. The new you is crowning. The world around you may not understand your current silence or intensity. You have outgrown explanations. What is happening in you cannot be described. It must be discerned. You are carrying something sacred, and heaven protects what is sacred through isolation. Do not resist this moment. Breathe through it. Heaven is your midwife. God's timing is your rhythm. Transition seasons feel unstable because they are both endings and beginnings at once. You are mourning what is leaving while anticipating what is coming. It's okay to grieve the old while welcoming the new. Even joy can ache when it is born from ashes. The hands that once broke you are the same hands now building you stronger. Chosen one, heaven says to you, push. Do not retreat into fear now. You've come too far to stop mid-delivery. Every lesson learned, every heartbreak overcome. It was all training for this moment. The pain you feel now is not punishment. It is proof that you are moving. When the time comes, the new will emerge suddenly. Just as dawn bursts forth after the longest night, breakthrough always appears without warning. One day you will wake up, and the heaviness will be gone. Clarity will replace confusion. The promise will no longer feel distant. It will live within reach. You will hold in your hands what you once only held in faith. Chosen one, this birth will change more than your circumstances. It will change your name. Heaven is giving you a new identity, one that matches the destiny you've been carrying. The old fears will no longer recognize you. The same places that rejected you will bow before the grace you now carry. You will move with a quiet authority that comes only from those who have wrestled with pain and lived to speak peace. And when you feel the final surge of pressure, the moment when you think you cannot take one more step, remember this truth. The final push always feels hardest because it comes right before manifestation. The shaking does not mean failure. It means fulfillment is near. Chosen one, this is your final contraction. Heaven is calling you to exhale the past and inhale the future. The light breaking through the cracks is not blinding. It is birthing. You are crossing into your promise. You are stepping from process into purpose, from carrying to creating. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement with this new birth, type 1111 in the comments below. Number is a doorway, a symbol of alignment and divine transition. When you type 11111, you are saying to heaven, I am ready to walk through the gate. I release the old and receive the new. It is your signature on the birth certificate of promise, your yes to the next chapter heaven is writing through you. Chosen one, breathe, push, trust. Heaven has not brought you this far to stop now. The same God who began this birth will deliver it perfectly. On the other side of this pain is your promise crying its first breath. Step into it with courage. Your new life has arrived. Chosen one, heaven has opened the treasury of restoration, and its light is beginning to spill over every broken area of your life. What was once fragmented is being gathered. What seemed irreparable is being rewoven. You may not hear it in the natural, but the sound of rebuilding has already begun in the spirit, a sacred rhythm of grace, placing every missing piece back into order. Restoration is not about returning to what was. It is about resurrection into what always should have been. God does not simply give back, He multiplies. He takes what was lost and returns it transformed. The pieces that fell apart are not glued together. They are remade into a design that could never have existed without the breaking. Every scar becomes a seam of strength. Every loss becomes the soil of renewal. Chosen one, you have walked through injustice, endured misunderstanding, and carried burdens that were not yours to bear. You have been overlooked, underappreciated, and misjudged, yet you remained faithful. You refused to retaliate when wronged. You forgave when bitterness would have been easier. Heaven has taken note of each act of mercy, each choice to bless rather than curse. The scales of divine justice are tilting back in your favor. Restoration begins quietly. It rarely announces itself with grand gestures. Instead, it arrives softly, like morning dew covering scorched earth. Suddenly, you realize peace where anxiety once lived. The same memories that used to sting now serves as testimonies of healing. God restores from the inside out. He heals the heart before He touches the circumstance. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord, because you are called an outcast, Zion, for whom no one cares. Chosen one, those words breathe over your life right now. Every place that was neglected by others is being nurtured by heaven. Every wound that was ignored is being touched by divine hands. What once defined you as broken will soon define you as beautiful. You are not being repaired. You are being renewed. Restoration is happening even when you cannot see it. Like roots spreading beneath the soil, heaven's healing often begins underground. You might not notice the growth until suddenly new branches appear where everything once looked dead. The old version of you could not carry what is being restored. That is why the loss had to come first. Chosen one. Restoration is also remembrance. Heaven is remembering promises you forgot. Words spoken over you long ago, prophecies, prayers, dreams are being reactivated. The timeline of delay is collapsing. You are walking into divine catch-up, where years of struggle yield in moments what would have taken decades. Heaven is accelerating what once crawled. The injustice that broke you will become the evidence of God's fairness. The betrayal that silenced you will become the platform of your testimony. The tears you cried in private will water gardens of joy in public. You will look around and realize that every loss had purpose.
Subtraction was
The drought prepared the soil. Chosen one, restoration also restores relationships, but not always in the way you expect. Some people will return transformed, while others will remain memories redeemed by forgiveness. You will not need to chase reconciliation. Heaven will bring the right hearts back at the right time. What's meant for you will recognize you when it returns. There is a quiet dignity about restoration. It does not need to announce vindication. It simply exists as proof that heaven always has the final word. You will walk into spaces where you were once dismissed, and grace will speak for you. You will hold conversations that used to haunt you, and peace will answer every unspoken question. The restoration process also awakens gratitude. You will find yourself thanking God for what once hurt you, realizing that without it, you would have never known His nearness. Restoration does not erase the past. It redeems it. It turns pain into perspective, failure into foundation, and delay into divine timing. Chosen one, there will be a day, soon, when you will stand in the middle of what you once prayed for. It will not feel like triumphal noise. It will feel like deep stillness. You will smile and realize, I'm home, not necessarily in a place, but in a posture. Peace, wholeness, and purpose perfectly intertwined. That is the promise of restoration. Heaven restores differently than the world. Where the world rebuilds structures, heaven rebuilds souls. You are not returning to your old life. You are walking into your real one. Every hardship was a brushstroke in this painting of renewal. Nothing was wasted. The picture is clearer now. The color is stronger. The frame is divine. Chosen one, the word restore will echo in your life like a song. Everywhere you go, that melody will follow. Restore the years, restore the heart, restore the vision. And with every step you will see it unfold. The Lord Himself has decreed it. You shall be restored, and restoration shall remain. Chosen one, heaven has been separating the precious from the ordinary. What once felt like loss was actually distinction. You were never meant to move in the multitude. You were meant to be refined among the few. Many were called, but not all could carry the weight of refinement. God's fire is not for destruction, it is for distinction. You were chosen to be crowned through the flames. There is a holy loneliness that accompanies being set apart. It is not rejection. It is recognition by heaven that your destiny requires concentration. God could not crown you among the crowd because the noise would have drowned out His whisper. So, He separated you, not to punish you, but to preserve the purity of your calling. What others saw as isolation, heaven saw as incubation. Chosen one, when you look back, you will see it clearly. Every departure, every misunderstanding, every door that closed was divine selection. The pruning was proof that you carried fruit. Heaven removes not to diminish, but to define. Each time something or someone left, your crown was being shaped, your authority refined. The fire you walked through was not wrath, it was refinement. You have been through the process of divine metallurgy. Your faith was heated, melted, and molded. The impurities of fear, doubt, and people-pleasing burned away. What remains is gold, pure, untarnished, and radiant. The brightness of your crown comes not from what was added, but from what was removed. The voice of God thundered in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. This third I will put into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. Chosen one, you are that refined one. You have been through the furnace and come out carrying a glow the darkness cannot comprehend. The very things that tried to consume you have instead crowned you. Your trials became your throne room. Every moment of endurance was a jewel set into your crown. Every tear fell like molten silver into your spirit, forming something unbreakable. The separation you experienced was heaven's coronation ceremony in disguise. God does not crown in crowds. He crowns in caves. David was anointed while hidden among sheep. Joseph received his promotion in a prison. Even Christ was glorified through suffering. You walk that same sacred lineage of those who were crowned through crushing. Chosen one, your crown does not gleam for decoration. It gleams for identification. It marks you as one who has passed through fire and remained faithful. It is invisible to human eyes but undeniable in the spirit. Demons recognize it. Angels honor it. Heaven salutes it. The crown you carry now is the seal of endurance, the evidence that you did not bow when the world demanded compromise. Separation also brings revelation. The more God stripped away, the clearer you became. You learned to discern voices, to identify what was divine and what was distraction. The fog has lifted, and your steps are sure again. You no longer chase approval, you chase assignment. You no longer crave noise, you crave nearness. That is the mark of the crowned. Their joy is rooted in presence, not performance. Chosen one, the fire you endured has given you authority over it. You will walk through flames now and not be burned. Others will marvel at your calm, unaware that you have already lived through worse. The peace you carry is not naivety, it is knowledge. You know that everything that tried to destroy you only proved you were indestructible. This is the beauty of divine separation. It strips you of dependence on the world so that heaven can clothe you in identity. You wear strength like a garment now, not pridefully but purposefully. You move with quiet royalty, aware that you are not self-made. You are spirit-forged. The fire has written heaven's name upon you. Chosen one, crowns are heavy, not because of gold, but because of glory. The glory you carry now weighs on you in sacred responsibility. You will find that new levels of authority attract new levels of humility. The more God elevates you, the more you will kneel. The higher your visibility, the deeper your worship. This season marks your coronation, though it may not look like a ceremony. There will be no trumpet, no throne, no audience. The coronation happens in the stillness of surrender. You will feel it, a quiet awareness that heaven has shifted your rank. You will notice that peace has replaced striving, and wisdom now sits where worry once lived. Chosen one, wear your crown gently but firmly. It is not for vanity, but for vision. You have been refined for responsibility, to lead with love, to serve with strength, to walk with grace. The fire crowned you, and heaven now calls your name among the chosen few. Let your steps reflect royalty, not arrogance, reverence, not recognition. For the ones refined by fire never forget the furnace. They simply carry its light. Chosen one, heaven is gathering its remnant. The ones who refused to bend beneath the weight of compromise, who endured the storm and still stood. You are part of that remnant. The world may not recognize you, but the heavens do. You are the flicker that refuses to go out, the ember that will ignite others into flame. This is the era of the end-time remnant, those who shine when the world dims. The remnant is not defined by number but by nature. It is not about how many are left, but about how deeply they believe. You were not chosen because you were the loudest or the most qualified. You were chosen because you did not quit. You held your faith when logic told you to let go. You carried your cross when others dropped theirs. The mark upon you is endurance. Heaven has always moved through remnants. When the flood covered the earth, God preserved Noah. When nations bowed to idols, He preserved Elijah. When faith seemed lost, He preserved a small group in the upper room. And through them, the world changed forever. You stand in that same lineage. You are not merely surviving. You are sustaining divine continuity. Chosen one, the remnant carries revival. You are not waiting for fire to fall. You are the fire. Your life itself is a torch passed from heaven's altar. When you speak, your words spark awakening. When you move, your steps leave trails of light. You are walking prophecy, living evidence that God's covenant still breathes. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 11, verse 5, declare, "So too, at the present time there is a remnant chosen by grace." Chosen by grace, that is you. Grace, not merit, placed you here. Grace kept you when others fell. Grace covered your mistakes, your doubts, your fears. Grace turned your breaking into becoming. The remnant is not perfect, it is persistent. It knows that even cracked vessels can carry oil when surrendered to God's hand. Now heaven calls you to rise, not in pride, but in purpose. This world grows darker by the day. Morality bending, compassion fading, truth traded for noise. But light does not panic in darkness. It performs. You were designed for this hour. You are the voice that will cut through confusion, the calm that will anchor the shaking. You are not here to escape the storm. You are here to still it. Chosen one, your presence matters more than you know. Your story, your endurance, your testimony, they are the blueprint for those who follow. When you speak truth, it travels farther than algorithms can measure. When you share what God has done, it multiplies hope in hidden hearts. That is why I ask you now with sincerity, become part of the echo. When you like, share, or subscribe, it is not a mechanical act, it is a ripple in eternity. Think of it like lighting another candle from your own flame. One spark may seem small, but together, they drive away shadows. Every gesture of engagement is an act of unity, every click a declaration. The light still lives. And for those who feel stirred to go deeper, to sustain what sustains them, your donation becomes a seed of continuation. Picture a stream flowing through dry valleys, bringing life wherever it touches. Your generosity keeps that stream alive, allowing this message to reach those who need a reminder that heaven still speaks. It is not about amount. It is about alignment. You are not giving to, you are giving through. Think of your offering as a drop of oil poured into the lamp of someone else's night. Every act of kindness fuels the flame that guides another soul home. Heaven measures not the size of the gift, but the sincerity of the heart that gives. You may never meet those your generosity touches, but heaven will introduce you in eternity. Chosen one, you are part of a movement, not a moment. This message you carry is not confined to one voice. It belongs to the collective breath of the remnant. When you comment, share, or simply whisper, "Amen," you are helping to build an invisible network of light stretching across nations. The kingdom advances not by noise, but by consistency. each believer shining faithfully in their corner of the world. You are living proof that darkness never wins. The remnant does not need majority. It carries eternity. Every act of faith is multiplied. Every word of encouragement becomes seed. Every bit of engagement becomes echo. You are not just a listener. You are a lifeline for someone else's awakening. Heaven watches as you continue the chain of light. What you share today might be the word that saves someone tomorrow. So keep the flame alive. Carry it, nurture it, protect it. The world needs what burns in you. You are not one voice lost in the noise. You are part of heaven's choir rising against the silence. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The remnant stands stronger than ever. Heaven is counting not numbers, but hearts that still believe. Yours is one of them. Keep shining, keep building, keep giving. The fire in you was never meant to burn alone. It was meant to ignite generations. Chosen one, you stand at the edge of transition, where completion meets commissioning. The long journey behind you has shaped not just your heart, but your hearing. The noise of the past has quieted enough for you to discern heaven's voice with precision. What comes next requires clarity, not speed. Heaven is delivering final instruction before your promotion, a sacred download meant to guide your next steps with power and peace. There is a silence before sending, a stillness before new sound. It is not emptiness, it is expectancy. You are standing in that holy pause where heaven breathes direction into destiny. What you sense as calm is actually divine alignment. The universe bends slightly in your favor, waiting for your obedience. Every moment of surrender now determines the magnitude of what unfolds next. Chosen one, heaven's instruction is always simple, but never small. God does not shout from clouds. He whispers into character. The final lessons before elevation are about heart posture, not public action. Before the external expands, the internal must be in order. These are the last refinements before revelation. The Spirit of God impressed upon your heart 3 final commands. Forgive quickly, move swiftly, and trust fully. They sound simple, yet they carry the weight of your next dimension. Each is a key unlocking a gate between where you stand and where you are going. Forgive quickly, because bitterness slows destiny. Every unhealed wound acts as an anchor. You cannot soar while holding grudges. Forgiveness is not agreement with injustice. It is alignment with freedom. The heart must be clean to carry new glory. Release what hurt you so heaven can release what heals you. The people who wronged you were not detours. They were mirrors. They revealed what still needed surrender. Let them go with peace, not pain. Move swiftly, because hesitation hinders heaven's flow. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. When God speaks now, respond immediately. The opportunities ahead are time-sensitive. Divine windows open and close according to obedience, not convenience. You have been prepared for this acceleration. Heaven trusts you to move in rhythm. Don't wait for understanding. Move with instruction. Faith is faster than logic. Trust fully, because fear fractures focus. You cannot walk into a new dimension with an old mindset. The same God who sustained you through silence will guide you through success. Do not analyze what only faith can answer. The path may appear uncertain, but the presence that guides it is unchanging. When trust becomes instinct, miracles become motion. Chosen one, this is not the season for partial surrender. The next phase requires total alignment. Heaven is positioning you in places where compromise cannot survive. Your new environment will demand discernment, the ability to sense divine timing amid distractions. Do not rush what God is revealing slowly. He hides wisdom in layers to protect it from the impatient. The ancient words recorded in Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, declare, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." That truth anchors your transition. You have made plans, prayed prayers, written visions, but ultimately it is the Lord who orchestrates. The promotion coming is not a reward. It is a responsibility. Heaven promotes the faithful not to fame, but to function. You are being positioned for purpose greater than comfort. Chosen one. Final instruction also includes rest. The same hands that fight must know when to fold in worship. You have spent years in endurance. Now you must learn ease without complacency. Stillness is not stagnation. It is strategy. Rest is where revelation incubates. The strongest warriors are those who know when to sit before they are sent. Heaven's instructions will often feel like paradox. He tells you to wait when the world says rush, to bless when the world says retaliate, to stay silent when the world says prove yourself. But these paradoxes protect purity. They shape you into someone who can stand in power without losing peace. Chosen one, do not be surprised if the people around you shift again as you ascend. Promotion always changes proximity. Some will celebrate your rise. Others will misunderstand it. Love them all, but travel light. The next altitude requires less baggage, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. Carry only what breathes peace. These final instructions are heaven's compass in your hand. Each one points toward purpose. Obey them without delay, and the map will unfold with every step. You will not receive all details at once, because faith flourishes in mystery. God will reveal direction like dawn, moment by moment, light by light. Chosen one, stand still for one final breath before moving forward. Let heaven's wind fill your lungs. The weight of the old season has lifted. The whisper of the new one is waiting. Every tear, every test, every triumph has brought you to this divine intersection. You are ready, not by perfection, but by preparation. When you walk from here, walk aware. Each step is sacred, each moment orchestrated. You are carrying heaven's final instruction inside you now. The journey ahead will not just display your growth, it will define your legacy. Heaven has spoken. Now, move in quiet confidence. Chosen one, the heavens are roaring with completion. The story that began in silence now concludes in symphony. You have walked through darkness, through waiting, through the refining fire, and now you stand on holy ground, the threshold of your fulfillment. The trials that once defined you have transformed into the testimony that crowns you. The journey has not been easy, but it has been exact. Every step, every tear, every pause was necessary for this moment. The air around you feels different because it is charged with divine finality. The season of testing has closed, and the scroll of purpose is now sealed with heaven's signature. This is the hour when the invisible becomes visible, when promises stop being whispers and start breathing reality. You are not stepping into something new. You are stepping into something written long ago, now unveiled in its appointed time. Chosen one, the crown upon your head is not made of gold, but of endurance. It glows with the brilliance of every yes you gave God when no one was watching. It carries the shimmer of your sacrifices, the radiance of your faith under fire. This is what heaven calls glory. Not the glamour of applause, but the gravity of obedience. You wear victory not as vanity, but as verification that you remained faithful until the end. The ancient words of Paul echo across the ages in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. That same declaration now belongs to you. You have fought well, not against flesh and blood, but against doubt, delay, and despair. You have finished a race that others abandoned halfway. You have kept faith when faith itself felt fragile. The heavens now echo your perseverance. Angels rise in salute to a warrior who would not surrender. Chosen one, understand this truth. Crowns are not given. They are recognized. You already carried glory before it was visible. The trials merely revealed what eternity already knew about you. The storms proved your strength. The silence proved your trust. You are heaven's evidence that endurance births excellence. The crown you carry is not an ornament. It is an assignment. It glimmers as a reminder that every gift given to you is meant to serve, not to shine for itself. This is the moment when heaven commissions you forward, not to rest in reward, but to reign in responsibility. Authority is now flowing through your hands, but remember, power without purity collapses. The humility you learned in hiddenness must remain your foundation in greatness. Never forget that the same God who crowns also sustains. The journey continues, but from here on, you walk as one who knows who they are. Chosen, when this coronation is quiet, it will not appear on screens or in headlines. It is taking place in the unseen realm where destiny is decided. Heaven bends low and whispers your new name, the one written in light before you were born. You may feel a stillness in your chest, a peace too heavy to explain. That is the confirmation that the race of testing has ended and the reign of fulfillment begins. Now you will move differently. Your steps will leave imprints of grace. Your words will carry the fragrance of eternity. You will no longer strive to be heard, for heaven's echo now walks with you. You are not chasing blessings. They will follow you. Every play feet touch will remember you, for you walk not as a wanderer but as a crowned one. The world will see the fruit, but only you and heaven know the root. You understand now that the true crown was never about status but stewardship. To wear glory is to bear weight for something larger than self. The ones marked by heaven are not loud, they are luminous. They shine quietly, like the moon reflecting a greater light. Chosen one, from this point on, your story carries its own authority. You are no longer learning survival. You are living significance. Heaven's favor has settled upon your shoulders like royal fabric. The fire you endured has become your fragrance. The silence you survived has become your sound. You are now the message you once sought to hear. Look around you. The horizon no longer intimidates you. It invites you. You can see farther now because the fog has lifted. The uncertainty that once clouded your vision has dissolved into wisdom. The path before you glows faintly, not because it is newly lit, but because your eyes have adjusted to glory. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your reign. Heaven has called your name in full measure. The King has declared, "Well done, faithful one." You carry the fragrance of completion, the authority of one who has overcome, and the peace of one who has nothing left to prove. Walk now, crowned and calm, knowing that all of heaven stands behind you. You are light in motion, promise fulfilled, purpose embodied. The journey continues, but from this moment on, you walk as one who has already won. Chosen one. If these words have found their way to you, it is because heaven wanted them to. You have walked through the full circle, silence to sound, breaking to becoming, testing to triumph. Now you stand not as a listener, but as living proof that divine purpose cannot be delayed forever. This message is more than language. It is legacy. It was written for the ones who refused to give up, for those who carried faith through fire. If something within these words stirred your soul, then they were meant for you. Before you go, let this be your moment of response. When you like, you are not just tapping a screen. You are saying, "I receive this word." When you share, you are carrying light into another soul's darkness. When you subscribe, you are anchoring yourself to a continual flow of truth and encouragement, reminding heaven that you still desire growth. And as you finish this journey, take a breath and comment below. Speak your heart, even if it's only a few words. Each comment becomes a living altar, a mark that you were here, that you heard, that you believed. Think of it lighting a candle in a cathedral. Small, simple, but seen from heaven's view. Every act of engagement keeps the flame alive for someone still searching for hope. Chosen one, your journey does not end here. Expands. Carry this word into your days. Let your life become the echo of what heaven whispered through these pages. You are the continuation of this message, the proof that God still writes through human hearts. So step forward, radiant and ready. The story continues through you.